and Professor Chida Benkalo met with the state governor and the PDP candidate Mota Ayero, as well as the Independent National Electoral Commission, Kaduna State Office, and the Nigerian Police Command, the Kaduna State Command. Of course, the issue has to do with preaching violence. The Human Rights Commission boss admonished all the candidates and their parties to adhere to the peace accord they earlier signed last month and to ensure that the state will witness a violence-free polls.
All right.
Of course, as you are likely aware, Kaduna State was one of the states affected in 2011 election.
All right. Chimede, just before we let you go, what is the mood of the electorate? How are the people, can you rate their level of anticipation for the elections?
Well, I can say that people are very, very, very determined to vote. But with the pockets of political violence being witnessed across the state, there are still fear of imminent crisis that will erupt maybe either before or during the election. Though that the state is still calm, but there are fears that we may witness in a couple of days or a kind of mass exodus, particularly non-indigenous out of the state. Some of them say that they will rather prefer to travel to their various states before the election in order not to be trapped if there's anything like violence.
All right. Thank you very much, Chimede. We'll continue to hook up with you to know what's going on. Thank you so much. Okay, let's come back to the studio here. That's our correspondent Chimede in Kaduna. Now, you said something, Mr. Ogundade, you said something about opposition being different. Mr. Odega has said that, yes, the opposition might not be strong, but the shout or the noises they've made have caused the ruling party in Nigeria to move ahead. But, Mr. Makinde, is that what it should be? I mean, you are of the opposition. The two of you are of the opposition. Is that what it should be? Or is it that the opposition parties do not fully understand their responsibilities to the country? And they are more interested, you said it's about a winner takes all thing, and they're more interested in winning, not necessarily their responsibility to the country and the citizens.
No, when I said the winner takes all, you know, the system that we currently operate is, if you win an election, there's really nothing for the opposition. So people tend to gravitate towards, you know, where their bread can be buttered. You know, that limits the scope of what opposition can do. You know, you just mentioned things beyond, you know, the shores of this country. Those people also, you know, they've passed through this stage. I mean, there are times when, you know, in the United States, it's the oldest democracy. There are times when, you know, they select their candidates in a smoke-filled environment where, you know, the mafias are the ones really determining who gets what, right? So I'm not concerned about, you know, the stage that we're in right now, because I know it's not about where we really coming from, it's about where we're headed. Yeah, you know, so because the scope of the opposition, you know, is limited by those twin issues, you know, that I mentioned. First, people are operating under grinding poverty, and if it's the ruling party, you know, who has the largest to spread around, you know, are the ones that hold the pulse for the nation, then, you know, people will gravitate towards them. Not necessarily because, you know, they agree with what they're doing. You know, my party, you know, the Social Democratic Party, we evolved from, you know, the Afenifere. If you look at, you know, people coming from UPN, from the old SDP, they were the ruling party when, I mean, well, they won the election and they had the most governors, you know, within the country in 1993. So some of these people, they have, you know, coalesced to say, well, you have two major parties now jostling for power at the center, right? There's a need for a third force. Even for those advanced democracies, you know, you've seen major political parties are now, you've seen a third force, coming in. And that third force has to be strong enough, to challenge the other two,
Okay.
even if not at the center, but at their various regions. So I disagree, that, the issue is the elements of where the people are coming from. Even if they are coming from the PDP or they're coming from, which other party, in as much as they are not satisfied with what they are seeing.